Good evening. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Boy, there's a lot of folks in chat. I hope you can hear me okay. I know I'm on a few minutes early here. Got a couple of things set up for you today. All right, Wigwag. I see Wigwag, Joe Rader. The Count is here. Ray Bobell, glad you're here, sir. Let's Randall Ellison. Thanks for your help earlier today. I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. Hello, Chuck Schreiber, JJ, Great Northern. Audio sounds fuzzy. That's not good. Oh, wait. I think I may have to. I don't know. Well, I was just gonna thank a bunch of folks for okay clipping. I will turn this down a little bit. Hopefully that will prevent the clipping. John, let me know if that is still a problem. I had a live stream earlier. I got help from Randall, Boxcar Jerry. I think I saw Jerry in the chat here earlier. Thank you, Jerry, for your help. Trying to get my audio set up. And I thought we got that resolved. What I've got for you today, 3 trains have gone by my shop in the last 30 minutes. And I've got my cell phone set up. Hello, Sparky. What's going on, brother? I've got my cell phone set up on another view here. So if I hear them blowing for the whistle further north here, I'm going to run out and get and watch we'll watch the train go by together. Hello, David, DB Tech. Good to see you here. So that's one of the things that I've got in store for you today is running out to watch a train if one goes by. Of course, with my luck, they may not go by. We'll see. But I'll be ready, and I'm going to use my, hey, be careful, Steve 87th. Be careful. I don't think I'll do anything so shocking or entertaining that it'll take you off the road, but let's be careful. And I'll use my phone to go around and show you a few of the things I'm working on here around the shop. So that'll be fun. In addition, I do want to thank Randall Ellison, Boxcar Jerry, Mark at M&M Rails, Floyd Robbins. I'm probably leaving somebody out who was here. Good evening, Ray Bertelson. Good to see you, sir. Who spent like almost an hour with me trying to get some of this tech dialed in. So I thank all of you gentlemen for helping me do that. Now, I'm going to be keeping my ear open for the next train that goes by, and if so, boy, so let me see if that helps with the sound there. Maybe I'm not speaking directly into the mic, and maybe that'll help. Hello, James at Dundas Junction Model Railroad. Good to see you, sir. Hello, Ed at Happy Valley Hobbies. Good to see you. Let me know if, oh, now we've got an echo. Great. We go from muffled to an echo. Boy. I can definitely change over to, let's try changing over to the microphone on my, whoops. I'm going to try and change over to the microphone on my webcam, and we'll see if that is better sound. Historically, it has been better sound. I was hoping to use this microphone here, but it may not be working. All right. Thank you, James. Takes a minute for Prism Live Controls to load up here. All right. So let me know if that maybe that sound is better. I've turned off that mic, and I'm using my webcam microphone. Let me turn it up a little bit. There we go. So hopefully that's will eliminate some of these audio problems. Let me know. Better but low. Yeah, I'm turning it up a little bit. I don't want to get any clipping. I am turning the volume up on that. Okay, good. Thank you, Wigwag. Good to see you here. And so again, I'm gonna start by, of course, changing the sound. Still too low, huh, Sparky? I'll turn it up a little bit further, but I'm getting into clipping territory. So there we go. That's almost to max. Go for the clipping. All right, I'll go for the. All right, I've got it up to max now. Can't make it any louder. Hello, Anthony Dodge. You were on my stream earlier, sir. Thank you for your comments and your help with my bit rate issue. So I appreciate that. So when I switch over to my cell phone as the other camera, we're going to be using the audio on the cell phone. So hopefully that won't create other problems. I will not be able to see your comments while I'm walking around using the cell phone. Or if I go outside to catch a train with the cell phone, I won't be able to see your comments at that time period. Apologize. So I see Dwight's here. Dwight, welcome. Good to see you. And Dwight, I have to say, you made some comments to me during another live stream, I think Jerry's live stream, to the effect of, will we ever see Bob run a train? And I thank you for those comments. You know, your true friends give you things to think about, and that that really hit home. And so, Dave at DB Tech, are you saying I'm still coming in too low? I don't know if there's any way that I can adjust it anymore. But okay, JP, good to see you here. So I thought I would first, address Dwight's comments by saying I'm the one who's suffering the most by not being able to model and be able to work on my layout. But it's a valid criticism. Valid criticism. The space that I bought here, that we bought, my wife and I, is it needs a ton of work, inside and out. And okay, Dave, thank you, sir. And so I'm going to show you the two spaces that I've been working on the most, which are her grow room. You'll be able to hear me talk, but I won't be able to see comments. I'm going to show you her grow room, which is almost done. I just need to hang the lights in there pretty much. And then I'm going to show you the workshop and what's going on in there, and you'll get to see a little bit of this space. Hello, Tom. Good to see you here, sir. Glad you're able to make it. JD, thanks for being here and policing the the thumbs up, as you always do. Very valuable stuff. Very valuable stuff. So, okay, I am now going to switch over to the view that has the cell phone, and we're going to be on cell phone audio. I apologize in advance. My hands are shaky. I'll try and be as steady as I can. Now I'm going to mute the auxiliary audio, and you're going to be listening to my cell phone, which looks like it's really peaking out badly. And it might be clipping a little bit, so sorry about that. All right. Hello, Greg Cassidy. Good to see you, sir. All right, so now we're going to head over to the grow room, my wife's work table for doing her planting. This object here to the right, this is a large white canvas. It's sized perfectly to cover up this electric cabinet, and it is going to be a cityscape at night
that I'm going to paint. I've got all the painting supplies there. So one of my many projects. This was a bunch of louver doors that really didn't fit, looked terrible. So I added this glass door here into this opening. I've added rubber flooring in this space. I've taken out light fixtures and installed, there was one set of electrical outlets over here. You can see it's kind of catawampus, probably not installed properly and mounted to a rafter or joist. But I put in this outlet here, which is mounted to a joist. And this room is my wife's grow room, and I'm going to be hanging 4 of these LED lights that are pretty heavy from the ceiling to light up this space for her. And they're going to be plugged into these Wi-Fi receptacles here, so that we can control the lights and have the lights on for extended periods of time, and they'll automatically come on and off. So that's the grow room. It's almost done. I've painted everything, put in trim, baseboard, retrimmed around the window, and pretty much ready to go. Now we're going to go across the hall into the workshop. You can see this has got a really heavy duty metal door with a glass window, and I brought a photo light in here just to light this space up a little bit for us. So this was formerly the machine shop. It's got 4 20-amp circuits in it. These will be live here. None of these were live. They were all cut off, and when this room was full of foam insulation. These outlets here on the left, I can't get live because they rerouted the power for those outlets outside to the back of the shop in order to put ice machines. So here's the back wall. There was black mold here. I tore off all of the wallboard. I installed that window. Finally snapped into focus. I don't know what's going on there. You can see I cut this window out. There was originally a 24 by 24 inch vent fan here. That fan was powered by this 20 amp circuit here. I'm going to run this across here, across here, kind of at benchtop workbench height level, and put a 4 outlet in there. Down here I've got to finish framing out the window, but it's already wired up, so I'll have 2, that power also goes over here to this 1 outlet, so these are both on the same 20 amp circuit. And then up here, there's some power in the ceiling, and that's a 20 amp circuit that powered an evaporator. And I am going to bring that power down the wall here on the surface. I hear a train. All right, I'm heading outside. I know this is kind of crazy, but I just heard the train whistle blow. I'm grabbing a I thought I was going to get a chance to use my tripod, but I was too slow. So this is Freeport Road, kind of a main thoroughfare. Shop is located on Freeport Road. And this is obviously NS territory. On the far side of this train is the Allegheny River, which you'll see when these gonds are gone. All right, well, that was a short train, and you might be able to see the water down there. And you can see down here to the north, there's a railroad bridge that goes across the Allegheny there. I've only seen a train on there once or twice. All right. So we'll head back into the shop. I didn't get a chance to use my tripod, Here you can see one of my projects was replacing the original mailbox with stick-on letters for 1343 with something a little more artistic. All right, I'm going to go in where I can see your comments in chat now. All right. Yeah, JP, I've been told that I should set up. Boxcar Jerry is constantly working on me to set up a webcam. All right, I'm going to switch over. Go. Hopefully you have audio now. Audio is working for us now. Yeah, I don't know why it was me. I had turned that sound off because we're getting an echo with the cell phone and the other microphone. I think I've got that. Okay, good. Someone said we have sound, so I'm going to assume that that's good. So, thank you. So that's kind of the view. What I get, you know, 5, 10 times a day. I can't jump up and look and and see every train. There is often a heritage unit, the Monin Heritage Unit, um, in one of these consists, but I don't know. Okay, thanks everybody. Hey, Trackside Mike, I didn't see you here. Good to see you, sir. So we've really checked off the two things that were first on my agenda. One was a tour kind of at the shop, and you could see what I'm doing in here and what's distracting me from modeling. And, I'm not an experienced rehabber. So I have a lot to learn when I'm doing a lot of these jobs. Electrical, I've got a little experience with. Uh, it's uh, it's a lot. It's a lot to get done. Thanks again, JD, for monitoring. So I've got a couple of things. We're already 15 minutes in, and I've got three things that I want to show you. I just got back from a trip to Colorado that we spent with some friends of my wife from her days in law school, and um, yeah, anybody who can give me some pointers on how to set up a live stream, a webcam, 24/7 webcam, I'll listen. I don't know how many trains go by. This is not that busy, but there's probably between 5 and 10 trains a day that go by. Right now, 4 trains have gone by in the last hour. So that's a lot. Yeah, Greg, I know, and that was Dwight Curley's comments earlier yesterday, I believe, was, "Are you ever going to run a train? Why the hell did you buy this place that's so much work?" But I get that workshop done, and it's dedicated to me, and I've got a spray booth set up, a 3D printer. I've got all this audio, and I'm recording in there and everything. That is going to be sweet. So okay, thanks, Sparky. I'll talk to Bernard when I'm up there at the meet and greet about his 24/7 web. So I am still excited about the shop, and of course, I do a lot of non hobby stuff. I'm a creative person, so I did that thing on the front of the shop for example. How much time did that take me? Create all that lettering and paint that, and now I've got hello Tammy, mom and son train rail fans. Good to see you here. Um, I'm doing this bench project. So I am doing a lot of other. I'm doing that painting that I showed you. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm doing that is fun, and but it's not building a layout. I apologize. So enough of that. I know that you come to this stream for trains, and so we've just had a live train, which was cool. But now I'm going to launch into my regularly scheduled programming, as they say. So I'm going to open up here on my computer. And I'm going to start showing you some of the stuff that I did on this trip to Colorado. I started talking to you a little bit about that. So, first thing on my agenda is to talk about the Royal Gorge Route Tourist Railroad, which my view. So, so, Royal Gorge Route Railroad is in Canyon City or Canyon City, Can with a schwa over it, a little snake thing over it, Canyon City, Kanon, which is about an hour and a half or so south of Denver, south and west. And Royal Gorge Route, as you can from this stuff from the Rio Grande, goes through a very narrow defile. And before the Moffat Tunnel was built, which you see over here on the right is the Moffat Tunnel brochure. Before the Moffat Tunnel was built, this route through this gorge is made by the Arkansas River. One of the principal ways for railroads to get kind of around the Rockies. Now, the route was originally built. So here's the motive power for the railroad is this incredibly cleanly painted and well maintained SD40-2. I think this here, I'm panning down the train, and you can see this beautiful rolling stock that they have. So, really, really well maintained railroad. Um, yeah, I'm sorry I missed that meet and greet, Sparky. I bet you that was great. I did go to the Colorado Model Railroad Museum, and I will have some photos and videos that. So, here is the depot in Canyon City. Again, everything about this railroad was impeccably maintained. Cars, the locomotives, the the buildings and other infrastructure, the whole experience. Food on the train was spectacular and cooked on the train. It was really all very well done, and I highly recommend. Um, Nice poster here, and I've got a few shots that show the train coming around the bend like that. I wish they'd had an EF unit like that on the head end, but the SD40-2. So here we are. They've released us out of the depot, and we're going towards our cars. Now you'll see those Vista Dome cars. You can see from here have got a air conditioning unit on top, and so the Vista Domes were actually somewhat blocked by all this air conditioning equipment, and so they weren't really full domes. It was pretty disappointing, and I'd spent like $140 piece for us to get in there because I thought we were going to have the full dome experience, and we didn't. So my advice is don't pay for that. There are plenty of other places to hang out on the train, bar cars, dining cars, where you can have a comfortable meal with tableside service, and you spend $75 or so. That, but here you can see, I mean, these things are just immaculate, very well taken care, very well, just beautiful. Now here's a shot of us going up the gorge, and you can get an idea of how narrow the canyon is. Um, just incredibly narrow. Uh, and there's a interesting feature we'll talk about in a minute. And here you can see up above, there's that is a road bridge going across canyon. There's also a zip line that goes across the canyon, and there's some gondolas, a cable car that goes across the canyon for you. So it's really pretty spectacular. And there are people rafting on the river going past us as we're going upriver here. Now this canyon was originally developed for rail service in order to service silver mines at Leadville, Colorado. There is a tourist railroad in Leadville. Okay, now here is, sorry, this is a little bit out of focus, but this is a shot looking down the aisle of the Vista Dome car where it was comfortable. We were seated with Sparky. This trip was about 2 hours. It wasn't very long. We went up through the canyon and we came back. We didn't turn around. They pulled the train up the canyon. They pushed the train, or actually just brakes, basically drifted downhill back to the station. Um, so I want to say it was about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. Was some stuff to look at. So this is what it was like inside. You can see there was waitress service. Food was prepared in several different galleys around the train, and it was prepared right there on the train. It wasn't like they had made this food in advance or anything. It was really good food. So I definitely recommend eating on the train when you don't need to bring a box lunch. Okay, now one of the most interesting features about this Royal Gorge route is this hanging bridge. And I'm sure somebody's modeled this, and maybe somebody in chat can tell me about this. But in this particular spot, canyon is only 30 feet wide, and the Arkansas River 30 feet. And for some reason, they couldn't build a pier to hold the railroad far side of the railroad roadbed. So the train here is actually on a bridge. The bridge is connected to the side of the canyon on the left-hand side of this picture. On the right-hand side, it's actually hanging off that steel superstructure. Um, so this hanging bridge, as it's called, is definitely one of the highlights of the trip on the Royal Gorge route, and it would be fantastic to model this. And I can't believe that someone hasn't modeled this already. Uh, really, that just. And on the way back, the train actually stopped here, so I could leave our dome car and go down one or two cars and spend like 20 minutes on the hanging bridge. So it was very interesting. And of those, you can probably see right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor very well, but right here, there's a crack through that girder. That's completely cracked through. So, but this is certainly one of the highlights. Now, up above, you can see these three gondolas right here. This cable car some sort of a cableway that's going across there, and those are people viewing the canyon from above. So really spectacular, really spectacular. Yes, JD, it's something, I'll tell you. Now here we are. I believe this is on the way back. Sorry, the people are in focus and the train isn't. But again, it gives you an idea of the curves involved in this railroad. Um, just really spectacular. Pretty sure this is on the way back, and so the engine's braking as we head back down to Canyon. At least more in focus. I don't know the explanation for that pier there. There was a railroad running on the other side of the track, a narrow gauge some sort. I don't think went all the way through. So here, back down at the depot area, they had two cabooses, a steel caboose kind of off to the right, and then this wooden caboose here that were dining establishments. So everything railroad related. A ton of fun, and thank you to my wife for tolerating tolerating all this railroad nonsense. But it was a spectacular trip. Highly recommend. Hello, Model Railroad Show. Good to see you here. So again, and this is in Canyon City. It's right by the parking lot for the Royal Gorge route train. And this is another railroad bridge crossing the Arkansas River down here in Canyon City. It looks like it was 1801 that this bridge was built. I'm not an expert on bridge construction, but it looks quite spidery and interesting. It's a cool bridge. So there are other railroad related. I'm sure if you get into the history of Canyon City, you'll see a lot of there's a lot of other interesting stuff to do. And I will have a video out about this. I wanted to present this here before I did that video. Okay, so that's another part of my presentation. So, respect to the Royal Gorge route, I just wanted to emphasize one more time that if you go on this trip, I don't think it's necessary to spend $140 a butt to get in the Vista Dome car because you're going to spend time out in those open air cars enjoying this scenery. Hello, Caboose 1973. How are you? Good to see you here. So I would not spend $140 again to ride that train per person when you can spend 75 or possibly less because you're going to go out on the open air car. Now, admittedly, if it's a rainy day, you might wish you were in the Vista Dome, but there's plenty of beautiful dining areas and dining cars elsewhere and a bar car. So you can definitely have a decent same food people in the Vista Dome cars are eating and have the same view going outside. So I definitely recommend. I recommend this trip. It's a ton of fun. There are places to stay in Canyon City that are not that expensive. There are places associated with the railroad where you can spend a lot of money to stay in a small kind of bed and breakfast kind of arrangement. But there's plenty of hotels and restaurants. So it was a great day for us to be on the train. So let me see what's next here. Now, I mentioned the Moffat Tunnel, and I'm not going to talk a lot about the Moffat Tunnel. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate you doing that history. And I was lucky. We shared a booth in the car that we were in, the guy from the Washington area who was also a modeler and had an outdoor layout. And he had done a lot of research on the history. And so that was really valuable. to have him along. So I would certainly say spend some time researching the railroad. You'll enjoy experience up through the spectacular canyon more if you know a little bit about the history. But highly recommended. Great trip. All right, now when the folks that we stayed with, Frank Russo did some research. Uh, he was really experimenting with ChatGPT for my benefit. He was creating thumbnails for me and all sorts of stuff using ChatGPT image generation process. One of the things that he discovered as he was poking around, because he's not interested in railroads, he's kind of a race car guy, he's got a motorcycle. But one of the things that he discovered was this thing from World War II. And I know this is not necessarily it's railroad related. Let's be honest, but it's very different. This thing is called a sleeper plow. I'll leave it to Anthony Dodge to pronounce that in German. It's also called a Railwolf or a Schienenwolf auf Deutsch, rail ripper. That's right, Ray. And so this was used by the German forces when they were in retreat out of, particularly on the Eastern Front, when they were in retreat in the in Russia, Soviet Union, to destroy the railroad tracks. Things were made by Krupp, and obviously highly destructive, kind of crazy looking. Here's one that's preserved. That's right, JJ. The scorched earth policy. That's right. Oh, really, Ray? You used during the Civil War as well. Interesting. Yeah. So this thing you can kind of see here. It's got a handle that the crew could turn to lower this thing down in between the rails, and so it's kind of an interesting looking car. Here's another picture of one. This one you can see the wheel at the top used to lower that hook down in between the to catch the ties to tear them up, and it was also supposedly armored. I don't know that that was going to provide much protection. That was a later variant. Here you can see one in use. See the guys adjusting the height of the hook and the steam engine backing up, pulling that thing, tear up the rail. Very interesting. They're the same thing. You can. There's a lot of variations in the design of these. And here you can see what is left of the rails, and after this device has done its work. Ray, I'd certainly like you, if you know anything more about the Ray, if you know anything more about the Civil War rail ripper, what that looked like, and whether there's a model of it or anything, that would be cool. I would love to hear about that, chat or otherwise. And yeah, that there were some tests done, model railroad show, by the Brits during the war about how much of a gap in the rail was required in order to derail a locomotive, and so to help the partisans in France know that they were doing enough damage. And it was amazing how big a gap locomotive actually get over, like well over 2-3 feet, still get across there. So it needed to have a pretty significant amount of damage done in order to deny its use. So now here is one of these that's actually in storage. It's in display rather in Sarajevo. So you can see it, and there's another picture of it a little bit later in the presentation where this vegetation is. But what really fascinated me was that helicopter in the background. Now, the armored train, too, is very interesting. Love to see that. And I think there was a coupler on the back of this, Fred Cassidy. I'm pretty sure. Um, and but what really fascinated me here was that helicopter in the background, that tail boom with that curve in it. It sure looks like a Bristol sycamore to me. I can't imagine what a Bristol sycamore would be doing in Sarajevo. It doesn't look like an Mi-2 or an Mi-3 Soviet helicopter. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. That window in the back there, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what the heck that helicopter was. Um, but at any rate, definitely something worth visiting. So, all right. So sorry, I don't. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So at the bottom of one of the pages, I saw that this actually was available as a 1/72nd scale model on Shapeways. Of course, Shapeways, I do not back in business, but their catalog has been camped since the time that this was offered. And you can just barely make out that this was a 1/72nd scale model, God's one true scale. Yeah, it's hard to see that helicopter in the shot, Sparky. But I was looking for a model of this. Uh, Eventually, I found this. May very well be the same model, but it is a 1/72nd scale kit produced in Poland. So I have ordered this. As soon as I saw it, I ordered it. Unfortunately, it's not due to arrive until the middle of this week after my show. But I'll certainly keep you all updated. And I've got some of these pictures here to the left blown up. But this, so there's the completed kit. Um, so that looks pretty cool. There's a matchstick there for scale. And Sheen and Wolf. Yes, I agree. That's right. Sheen and Wolf, how that is. And so I've ordered this kit, and so I will definitely be putting this together. Looks like a relative. Here's what the kit looks like. I don't know what that etched brass sheet is for. But, could be a relatively. There's the kit unpainted again with a match. You can see how small that is. Could be a fun little build. Here's another picture of one, a different style of one. This is Italy. But I thought it was a nice picture showing the whole unit. Layout destroyer. That's right, Jim. And now here is that same park where we saw unit was covered in foliage, and this shot is taken from where the helicopter was. So I believe the helicopter has been eliminated, and you can tell this is not the United States. Why? Because they're allowing a child to climb on the armored train. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know if I can. See, look at that child over on the right hand side climbing up on the armored train, uh, potentially falling off. Not something that would be permitted in our United States. But here you can see the unit pretty well, and I don't know what kind of a connection mechanism Greg Cassidy back here. Not clear from this photo exactly how that operates. At any rate, so this is kind of a cool project, and a cool thing out of history. I was unaware of it. So if anybody knows anything more about the Civil War rail ripper and can put that in chat or shoot me an email later. I think that also is interesting, especially if they would get available. Now, speaking of kits, here is Wolf Railwolf. This is from Thingiverse. And so those of us who have yeah, Tom, I guess it could, but I don't know. I think in a lot of U.S. parks, they'd have a fence around that to keep getting on. There's JJ describing just that. So for those of you who can do 3D printing, here is the Wolf on Thingiverse. And I believe, whoops, back. And I believe this is like 23 different files, file for each kit. And I have no idea how difficult that would be to print, but it certainly has gotten me thinking about 3D printing, and so that's going to be on my radar screen. I'm surprised at how little money it takes to get into that game, and so I'm definitely going to get into this. Was worth printing. So, and it's in HO. Whoops, in HO scale, which would be better. Whether it's got separate wheels, I don't know how it's put. Yeah, Dave, look for that. I'd be glad to pay you trouble for the postage and the materials. Print that out for me, or if Dwight is still out there. Yeah, it doesn't look like it has rolling wheels, but I don't know. There are 20. You can see wheels over here to the right. So I think the wheels are a separate file. So I don't know, but it is out there on Thingiverse. If you search for Wolf, find it. Oh, is Randall here? Oh, there he is. Hello, Randall. Thanks again for your help earlier today. Randall, getting things. Did catch another train. I'm not sure if you were here or not, just for that, but catch a train. Dave, let me know what you think about printing this thing out. Dwight, if you're out there and you want to have a look, that would be great. Also, because I think it's going to be a while before I have a 3D capable pay for that to be. Okay, that's right. That's right. Uh, Ray's got a new computer and he's got to get his 3D printer reset up. For what it's worth, those of you who are on here, I know not everybody on here is a 3D printer or a live streamer. So I've got two things that may or may not be. Hey, Gary Shanks, good. Prism Live, as I think I've mentioned on my last live stream, is actually going to a paid model for their premium. They're still going to be available free. All the functionality I'm using right now is still available, like cell phone as camera, and that's. But they're also going to have multi-stream functionality on. They go to that's the stream. That is a lot of fun. Okay. Thanks, Dave. Okay, cool, Steve, and I'm glad you made it safely. Glad you made it. So, if I get to my model building section of the broadcast, start with the vehicles. Be right up your. Um, so Prism Live will support multi-stream on the paid program, and I'll let you know how expensive that is. Interesting, very interesting. Interesting. Okay, so Now, after after going on the Royal Gorge route ride was a lot of fun. Then drove to our friend's place in Steamboat Springs. Spent 5 days with. Had a lot of fun with them, doing a lot of outdoor activity, shooting and riding ATVs and just doing a lot of different things. I did a lot of kind of mining archaeological trips with the Frank Russo. I don't think Frank's out there, but I have to thank hospitality. Took me out on a bunch of hikes. I actually flew my drone over an old mining site to try and get some intelligence about any other facilities that are around in that area. Then on the way, and then when we left Steamboat Springs, we're heading back to the Denver airport. We spent an extra day in order to, or half a day, in order to go to the Colorado Model Railroad. There on a Sunday. I don't think Michelle was there. I did look around. I didn't ask for her. I've met her before. Yeah, Ray. Sorry if I know there was some audio problems. Uh, we've tried to work on. Sorry. I thought I had solved my audio problems on the live stream earlier, and obviously haven't. So gonna have to do something else. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. Obviously. So I'm going to soldier on despite the audio problems. So I went to the Colorado Railroad Museum on my way out of town to the Denver area. It is a spectacular place. Here is a kind of a map of the layout. You can this orange area is kind of above the layout, looking down, and it features a lot of Colorado scenery, mountain scenery. They were running a lot of trains. Um, so kind of just panning around on entry to the museum. This is what you see when you're just entering the museum. Now, this is a view from up above, looking down into the layout. You all of the Colorado mountain scenery that was. This is another view in that upper hallway, panning around, and you can see how spectacular this is. They've got a wooden caboose, an actual wooden. Well, really spectacular and really well done. Thank you, Dave. But boy, this audio on Prism Live is a problem. So what you can see here, though, is my only gripe about this facility is that the black ceiling and black walls meant that there wasn't really a lot of light for shooting video. So my cameras were struggling. I did not see the hidden staging, Sparky. I didn't have special access like you probably have. But it was hard for my camera to shoot in here on video. Still photography was not a problem, but I did have problems getting video of this so that you can see how dark it is. But there were, and you can see, look at the depth of this access. I mean, this place was absolutely, um, and everything. Hey, Rusty, I didn't see you in here, Rusty. Apostle, good. Um, they were running a lot of trains, and since it was around the 4th of July, they were running a lot of bicentennial schemes and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. There were guys there You can see that guy in the vest, for example. And they were running trains and talked to us. Star Spangled Stop appropriate for the fly. Ah, okay, Sparky. Not see the. I wish I'd seen the ship model. I think I may have seen the ship models, Rusty. Were they like ore ships? I may have seen. So just another view of the layout. How spectacular! How huge! And I have to say that I've been to a lot of large layouts, but this layout was absolutely highest quality of modeling throughout. It was really, really well done. I just, I really, really enjoyed this. Quality of modeling, spectacular. Yes, and I've got a movie of some of the animation. AJ, I think it's a burning building. Here's the, and we went through the caboose. I'm not sure I have any pictures out of that. If I can get. So this scrapyard was one of the first things I took a picture of because the scrapyard was like 8 feet long. And that's the kind of things that you can do when you've got a layout of that size. You can have an 8 foot long scrapyard. Now, admittedly, it's kind of a weird rectangular shape to fit into the layout, but nonetheless, really, really cool, really impressive. And here's the animation that I think JJ was mentioning. This burning building was really cool. And then I'm just panning out to show you a little bit more of the layout. You can see that in Klamath Falls. So that's up in Oregon. A great area, a lot of rail fanning up there, and quite close to Crater Lake, Klamath Falls. So I highly recommend going up there to do a little rail fanning and to see Crater Lake. Crater Lake is just spectacular. Okay. Automation of the. I see. Okay. Yeah, they had kind of traditional operations going on, JJ, with operators following their trains. The railroad is fully signaled. Everyone seemed following the signal system, and there was a very elaborate dispatching area. I hope I have a picture of that. Um, what's Train Mountain, AJ? You need to give me a little more in the chat there. I'm not familiar with Train Mountain, but now this, I'm a big industrial guy, so this was a really nice warehouse scene that was done, and the modeling throughout here was okay. I will look at that video about train. And just top-notch modeling throughout, weathering, just a really, really, really well done, really well done layout through shots of other places out that I want to get to. I had a shot of this backdrop. Again, really nice modeling. This lumberyard timber is a big product in the Northwest that they're modeling. And so they had this massive complex, just huge, probably 15 long or so, really huge. See in the background that backdrop that I thought was really well done. I have a, I think I have a video where I pan across that. So yeah, here it is. So nice they have the track schematic up above, but that backdrop was really nice. Okay, Sparky, cool. Okay, thanks, JP and JJ. You have a lot of information. Crane Mountain. So this backdrop, I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes on this. Boxcar Jerry and I have been having some discussions about photo backdrops. I don't know if photo backdrops are the best way to go. I really like something in between a photo, something that's totally abstract. This impresses me as that kind of a backdrop. So I really just like this backdrop, and so I had to get a good picture. Um, but everybody's got their own opinion about backdrops, and hopefully, I don't know if this will come into focus again. Video, there we go. It's trying to focus low light scenario. Um, Not doing. But this one's for Dave at DB Tech with all these advertise billboard boxcars. I know that's his thing, so I had to get this shot for Dave. Rusty, I'm sure you met a lot of nice people at that, and I'm hoping to meet a lot of nice people at Sparky's Meet and Greet up in Canada in about a month. So here's another train being run. Of course, it doesn't have the bicentennials, but nicely done, nice weathering. Good point, Anthony. Good point, Anthony. I agree. There's a lot of, this trestle here reminds me there's another fantastic trestle on this layout. Hopefully, I got a picture of it that I can show you. A curved trestle. I don't know how many pieces. Really Yes, Dave. That was for you. That was for you. The old billboard boxcars. This was a water scene. I think I'm trying to capture. Out of focus. Not gonna make all watch this out of focus. Here's a mine. Obviously, Colorado's got a lot of silver mining and other types of mining. Yeah, the trestles were clearly scratch built, Sparky. Now, I took this merely because I have some rolling steps here. And it was interesting how they had canvas on the side of their rolling steps. So, thought I could potentially do the same thing if I grabbed a picture. Now, this was interesting. Again, for the holiday, they had this train full of presidential boxcars, and I believe this is every president. Um, oh, really? Jason Jensen did a lot of artwork for that layout. That's interesting. That doesn't surprise me. Again, you can see Klamath Falls in the background, all this lumber stockpiled, but I took a picture of this because of this absolutely incredible train. I didn't get all of it. It's up to Nixon. Um, but it had, up through 47. So that was pretty cool and great for the holiday. Great for the holidays. Nice, nice job. And here you can see a little bit more of the up through Clinton now, I think. Earlier in the presidencies, just a shot of the layout and the excellent modeling that's been done here. That street was done very, very well. The backdrop with the flats against it. Really nice scene, created a ton of depth in very nicely. I don't think this was the curved trestle. This is a curved trestle, but I don't think this was the curved trestle on the. Well, I really missed it when I didn't go to the Colorado meet and greet, huh, Sparky? But I wasn't as active in the community as I am now. So. Another shot of the layout. Another bridge. Spectacular bridge. A lot of bridges. Not a good video. Cute little scene. Action everywhere. Guys hanging the billboard. Cute, clever. A bascule. I believe this is called a bascule bridge. Concrete counterweight bridges. Really well done. I think there was a kit of this actually. Somebody in chat can tell me or not, but I think there was a kit of this. Not seem like it was a working model, however. One of the few kind of more urban scenes in the layout. Sorry, my depth of field wasn't very good. Again, the lighting was that strong. Gentleman running a train there, waiting for a red light. Maybe if I pan around up, I didn't pan far enough around to get the dispatcher's. There's the dispatcher's office. And my camera not wanting to focus, but you can see how well set up that is and how elaborate it is. Pretty amazing. And I guess that's it. So, change my view here. You all can still hear me. So, I'm pretty much out of material here. I thank you for all of your comments and questions, chat. It was a really great trip to Colorado, and it was awesome. I thank my wife for allowing me to bookend the trip to train-related activities, the Gorge route and the Colorado model. Both excellent experiences. I'm going to get videos out on each of those experiences. Yeah, you're welcome, Greg. I don't know that I see you here all the time, but it's great to see you in the chat and on. Okay, Dave, good. I'm glad that. All right, James. Well, thank you, sir. So I got to tell you, I am exhausted. I streamed for like 55 minutes trying to solve my audio problems earlier. And unlike Ray Bobel, who I think he could stream for 8 hours straight, got a natural gift for conversation, and he's extrovert. I'm kind of a introvert masquerading as an extrovert. And so, having these live streams, I really enjoy doing this and sharing with you all, but it's a lot of work and it's kind of stressful for me. And so streaming an hour earlier today or more really tired me out. No, this is interesting. Another train has not gone by. For 4 trains in the space of about a half hour, not a single train has gone by since then. So thank goodness I ran out when I did, and we caught that train. So let me know if you enjoyed that. I can, in the future, have my cell phone set up and we can run out and look at a train. But I know that everybody on here isn't a rail fan. So if that really doesn't interest you that much, let me know. Ray is not a BS artist. That is not true, Rusty. um, yeah, I guess so, Greg. I don't know what's going on. But again, no trains have gone by in the last 45 minutes, whereas 4 trains went by earlier in the half hour before the show. 15 minutes before the show and 50 minutes ago, there were 4 trains. Kind of crazy. So, Steve, thanks for coming on board. I really appreciate you being here. So that's all I've got for you today. I really appreciate everybody being out here. I hope I caught everybody on the chat. True enough, Ed. True enough, Ed. I think you might be introvert masquerading as an extrovert yourself. But I don't know what you all have planned for this coming week, but I urge you to plan something modeling related. I am going to get the electrical work done in that workshop back there, and hopefully hang the sheetrock, which is stacked up in the hallway, and try and get closer to finishing off that workshop. Once I have the workshop done, thank you, Count. Appreciate it. Once I have the workshop done, I'm going to be able to move a lot of the stuff that's out here into that room. I've got a little bit of work surface to build. I can get my paint booth in there. I can get my workbench in there. Thank you, Randall. Thanks again for your help earlier, trying to perfect my audio and video setup. So that's kind of my plan for this week. So I hope that you have a plan for this week for your modeling suits, and if you don't, this is a good time to make one. And until next time, yes, Tom, I know you do have that. You are lucky. Got a tremendous layout, and thank you for. So, all right, Greg, it was great to see you. Greg, I don't know if you're going to be at the meet and greet in Canada. I hope so. It'd be great to meet you there. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. So, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I really appreciate your attention. Thank you for being here and your support in chat. And okay, thank you, Ray. I should have said that. Yes, Ray has got Sidetrack Sunday next week, so remember to tune into his channel. I'm sure he's going to be telling us something about his computer build, and sure he'll have some interesting stuff to share with us. He always does. Extra work surface. Yeah, right. Well, do I need a rolling work surface, JP, to be out here in the layout? I'm going to have my workshop is in a separate room. So maybe I need some rolling work tables out here. I don't know. You can see behind me my first table. It's going to be 18-inch width generally on each side of a center divider. So, oh, you won't be there. Okay. All right, Tom. Good night, Thomas. We will see you soon. Ray Hood. All right, Ray, take care. Everybody, have a great night and a great week. Thanks again for supporting us here on Sidetrack Sunday. Keep on modeling. Bye-bye.